Hi guys, and welcome back. Today we're going over 20 exercises to do with just one kettlebell. So it's going to be a full body routine. We're going to start off with mobility, then go some upper body, lower body. Follow along or pick and choose the exercise for you. Make sure you stick around to the end because we're going to do 2 circuits to get the heart rate up. So we're going to ease into things with some mobility work, just get the blood flowing a little bit. So the first position we're going to be in is a tall kneeling position. So knees a bit wider than the hips, squeeze the glutes and brace the core. So the first one, we're just going to open up our neck and start working on our breathing. I'm just going to put the kettlebell behind my back and grab it with both hands. I'm going to set my shoulders. So this puts the good traction on the shoulder, sets the shoulders, and all I'm going to do is just look to one side, and when I get to the end range, I'm taking a full breath cycle, diaphragmatic breath, and then back to center, and then other way. Big inhale and big exhale. So just keep going back and forth, and you'll notice you'll probably get a little bit extra range as you continue through. Okay, so that's our first one. Second one, we are going to do some halos. So we're going to just have the kettlebell like this, open up the shoulders a bit. So we're going to open up the shoulders so the kettlebell is upside down at the back, and then at the center the horns are up like so. So I'm going to alternate directions like so. And brace the core like so, up like this, and then back around. So those are our halos to open up the shoulders. We're going to open up our lower body next with our hips and our ankles, and the kettlebell's in front, and I am in a half kneeling position now. So basically I'm just going to have the kettlebell in front, so it's going to set my shoulders, traction the arms down a bit, and what I'm going to do is shoot the leg forward, keeping this heel down. So I'm getting some dorsiflexion on the ankle, and then the back hip, if we squeeze the glutes, is getting the glutes activated as well as opening up this hip flexor, right? So the idea is making sure that the front foot, that the heel stays down. The closer the heel is to the body, the more you're going to challenge dorsiflexion, like so. Okay, starting with our upper body, we're going to get into some back exercises. So this is one of my favorites because it also incorporates the core. So we're into our bent over row positions or hinge pattern, toes straight ahead, hinge the hips back, bracing the core. We're going to set the shoulders. So what we're going to do is we're going to do one row, right? And at the bottom, we're going to pass over, keeping perfect spinal alignment. And then we're getting some rotary stability as well too. So row, pass. Everything is neutral, core is braced, like so. So that's called the row and pass. The next one we're going to do is just a staggered stance, one arm row. So I'm going to shoot the hips back, 1 foot forward, set the shoulder, and we're going to do a row like so. We could also change it up by another rowing exercise, is we're going to do a pronated grip, and we're going to come out high to the side. So high elbow row, pronated grip is just going to hit different musculature along the back. Okay, shoulders are up next. So this is rotational press. Really like this because it includes our core, but we're also getting some rotational in our T-spine, so T-spine mobility. So tall kneeling position, same as before, grabbing the kettlebell by the horns, squeezing the glutes, bracing the core, set the shoulders. We're going to rotate as far as we can one way, lift up, eyes follow the kettlebell, and then back to center, rotate and lift. Pause, rotate and lift. Okay, so that's called the rotation and lift. Next one, half kneeling. So you should have alignment from our knee, hip, and shoulder, squeezing the glutes. This position here, brace the core, make a fist here, and we're going to press up like this. I really like the half kneeling position, guys, because when we're like this, if we were doing it standing, we have more chance of arching our back. So bracing the core, squeezing the glutes is going to keep it safer and have better spinal alignment. So options for shoulders for standing, if we wanted to, is we can again just do the unilateral press. So making sure we're in a staggered stance, and then as we press, we squeeze the glutes, and it's overhead like so. So one thing you can do too, if your kettlebell is a little heavy, is you can do a push press. So it's a little dip and then drive, pause. So it's called a push press. Dip and drive. You could also do the shoulder to shoulder press. So I'm grabbing the kettlebell like so, and basically I'm coming up on one side and then over the other, right? So up, pause in the center, to the other side of the shoulder, and back and forth. So it's called shoulder to shoulder press. Okay, moving on to our chest now. So we're going to do a unilateral floor press. So obviously we're lying down on the floor, grabbing the kettlebell, and what we're going to do is we're just going to press up and pause. Try to keep it into a neutral position, right? Like so. If you wanted to change the angle on the chest and get a bonus glute activation, glutes up, squeeze the glutes, and now it's like a decline press. So you'll notice a bit greater range of motion with the elbow coming to the floor. Okay, so that'd be your decline or glute bridge, floor press. Next one would be a more advanced version for our push-up. So we're getting more of a stretch for our push-up. So we're gonna put the hand on the kettlebell, push-up position, all the way down. So you'll notice you're getting a more stretched or heightened angle on the arm that the kettlebell is on, like so. Okay, so then you would switch over to the other side, like so. All the way down, big stretch, and like so. Okay, so those are your chest exercises. Okay, next we have tons of leg exercises coming for your lower body exercises. So this one here, we're gonna do a offset squat position. So this is the rack position, so our wrist should be neutral, thumb is in at our collarbone. So your squat stance would be as usual. I'd recommend putting your fist out and having a tight tension in your fist. You're gonna squat down and like so, and you'll notice that you're gonna be challenging the core musculature on the opposing side. So you could do the same thing with a lunge as well. So we're gonna do a forward lunge, step, stop, control down, like so. So you'll notice you're gonna be challenging the musculature on the opposing side with the offset positions. We also have just our basic goblet positions for the squat and the lunge. So again, holding at the horns like this, squatting down. So that would be our goblet squat. And of course we have our goblet position for the lunge as well. So alternating legs, right? Or we could do our reverse lunge, stepping back, just holding the goblet position. We also just simply have our basic deadlift, kettlebells at the heels, hinging the hips back, tension on the kettlebell, squeezing the glutes. Again, remember, initiating with the hips. That's the hip hinge, and squeezing the glutes. Okay, moving on to some core options for you guys. So I love the suitcase carry. So we set the shoulder, right, slight bend in the elbows, and just holding in this position, right? So we're challenging the musculature on the opposing side. We could add some locomotion by simply just doing marches, balance, or we could just do it into a walk as well, okay? We could also hold it in the high rack position as well. It's gonna change the vectors of force on the core. And then the most advanced would be our wader walk position. So again, holding, we could do our marches, right? And we could add locomotion for some walking. We also have a mountain climber version, which we've done before. This is just gonna make it a bit more challenging by adding more stability, right? So we're just gonna hold high plank position on the kettlebell, right? Set the shoulders, slowly bringing the knees in. Pause, pause, and pause. Okay, before we get to our 2 circuits where we're gonna go through, we gotta finish with the arms because I know people are just itching to get them in. So we could grab the kettlebells by the horn, set the shoulders, and doing our bicep curls like so. We could also go overhead, right, for some triceps, like so. Full range all the way down, all the way up, ribs down, bracing the core, squeezing the glutes. And of course, we also could lie down as well to change the angle on the triceps with our skull crushers, like so. Kettlebell, right, behind the head, and like so. Okay, so there we have over 20 exercises. Now let's get into our circuit options. Okay guys, so we're gonna finish off with 2 circuits. We're gonna bring in some of the exercises we just learned. So the first format is going to be a complex or format, which we've done with the dumbbells. And all that means is we're just gonna couple or string together a bunch of different resistance training exercises with the kettlebell, and then we're gonna take our rest period, which I will put all the sets and reps recommendations in the description box. The second format is a pretty easy thing we can do, is we're just gonna couple it with cardiovascular modality. So I'm gonna couple some exercises with skipping, but you guys could choose jogging, stationary bike, jumping jacks, whatever you have. So play around with it, make it your own circuit, and basically have fun with it. Okay, so let's get started.